Hello and welcome to the Build with Baer Workshop. My name is Pat Baer. I'm here to build one model kit, finish it up, and then start another one. That's right. I'm going to throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the site, the emote in the chat. If you're currently a subscriber, you can reply with said emotes. Uh, I don't seem to be showing on. I'm going to refresh my stream deck here. Am I good? I am good. Okay. Sorry about that. My dashboard here, for a little bit right there, did not show me. It just showed the previous screen, so I had to refresh. But now it seems we're good. Um, Hello and welcome. I'm going to throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the site, the moat. If you're currently a subscriber, you can throw that back to me. Harold, thank you for hosting as always. I appreciate that very much. And we're going to hopefully hang out here in the intro zone for a moment or two. And maybe a few more folks will join us. That would be great. If this is a Chill Monday stream, that's okay. We've got some more work to do here on the NT-1. I'm going to lift it up so you can see that we put the interior armor on, and now we got to build the exterior armor. Um, while I do think the exterior armor looks pretty neat, this backpack cover thing does not want to stay on. So maybe a reason not to put it on. I don't know. It's up to you. And then we're going to start working on the arc, um, which is you may be like, Pat, this looks a lot like the Lancer that we built on a previous stream, and you're right. This is the like it's not I wouldn't call it the sister. It's the like brother of the Lancer, or I don't know. Maybe it is the sister to it, but it is another variation of the Impulse Gundam. They have the same base, so it'll be a similar build. So I'm glad that it's been a little while since we built that, just to kind of mix things up a bit, a notch, a tad. Um, but yeah, I'm excited to build stuff. I hope that you know, hey, folks got a lot of stuff they can watch online. A lot of things going on in the world. Maybe people are tuning into the Democratic National Convention. I don't know if that's what people are into, because I think they're just going to get mad watching it, no matter who you are. Well, I guess there are a few people out there. If you are a Republican who is voting Democratic, maybe you're excited about the Democratic National Convention. But yeah, it seems. Uh, Hi, Lashbrook. The person that's doing Quibi, the person behind Quibi, has more time than AOC, and that just seems like I get it. You're the establishment. You can't give the upstarts something, but you know, when you got a candidate who's not necessarily, you know, really exciting a lot of people, uh, you might want to, throw them a few bones, maybe. That's just me. Um, is there anyone with less? Yeah, I mean, just I don't know. I don't think so. Uh, I mean, the people with less are the people that aren't speaking because there are Republicans speaking uh, with more time than AOC, and then there are people who are who are not do not have the opportunity to speak at the national convention. That would be, you know, Democrats that people like, who maybe aren't enthused about what's going on and what they're about to do. Because if your big thing is Medicare for all, if that's your big issue is Medicare for all, then neither side is doing you any favors. It's just that maybe one side isn't actively trying to kill you; they just don't care if you die. Uh, and I don't want to get on my soapbox here. This is my stream, but that's kind of how I feel about the current situation. Like, I certainly don't want the person that's actively trying to kill people that I love to be in office anymore. But I'm not certainly excited about the person that isn't going to undo a lot of shit. He's going to undo some of it. Like he'll fix the post office, I guess. But he's not going to like figure out how to get rid of some judges or figure out or work on gerrymandering. Like, probably. It's not going to push through the Voters Act because it's kind of, they don't care about that. So, like, you know, stuff. We don't have a universal health option probably. He might strengthen what we do have, but like, you know, Joe Biden doesn't care about your college debt. He cares about, like making sure that families can like help each other, and maybe he's going to help with certain things, but he's like doesn't really care that you're horribly in debt and you have to go into debt for health care. He just doesn't care about that particularly. Hard on crime, even crimes that aren't really crimes and only people without money actually have to suffer because of. Doesn't really care about that stuff. So, but also, I voted for John Kerry, so like, I'm gonna vote for the Democrat. Like, don't worry about it. For me, anyway. Like, but I'm not psyched. I'm not like, hell yeah. So, it is what it is. Anyway, we're gonna get to building in a moment or two. I'll stop talking politics at the moment, but yeah, maybe tonight will be a chill model kit building stream without a lot of people watching, and that would be all right. Like, is it preferable to having 20 to 30 people watching? No, I like to have a lot of people watching and chatting. Um, but it'll be okay. We'll figure it out. I'm gonna retweet my own tweet. Gonna put it there. Come hang out and watch the stream. Okay. I'm going to retweet, and then we're going to get into building. Let's finish putting armor on the NT-1 version 2 of this Master Grade. So let's go. Here we go. So we got to put more armor on here. You can see this back thing does like to pop off, which it's not the kind of popping off I'm looking for. It just doesn't want to stay on. It doesn't really have the framework thing these other pieces have for that to interlock into. But I do think that this looks pretty neat. I guess if I was going to display this kit, I might not put all of this armor on. I might put the Chobam armor. I might put just some of the Chobam armor on because I kind of like the idea of like maybe displaying it, instead of like battle damage, this is just like mid upgrade or mid application. That's kind of maybe a neat idea of just being like, oh yeah, we were putting this big armor on, but we had to like wait a minute before we put it on there. I kind of like that idea. But this all snaps on pretty good to the frames, and then we're going to put on the armor. Oh, get really bright there. It's really shining bright in that spot. Then let's put the shoulder armor on, and then we'll move on to the leg armor. So we got to put J1s into J5s. So we'll do that. I hope everyone's doing good tonight. I'm doing all right. Had a good couple days, the past few days. Things went good. I managed to go out and take a long walk today as exercise because it was not as hot as it's been and it wasn't as humid. I am unhappy to report, though, that after time doing that, going for a nice long walk, I am mostly bug bites right now. I've got bug bites on top of bug bites. I put on bug spray, but the mosquitoes were apparently, non-pulsed by my application of bug spray. Perhaps it was the sweating, taking care of that business. I don't know. I can't fully say. I can only tell you that I don't itch right now, but also I am not as happy as I would like to be. Harold says, welcome to the South in summer. Harold, I don't disagree with you. I am aware that this is what I was meant to put up with, that I'm not burning. My arms are a little red right now. They're a little red. I'll admit that. I'm getting a little bit of a tan. which I'm not opposed to, but I'm also 100% definitely feeling uh, full of bug bites and not thrilled about those bug bites. So that's kind of where I'm at in the moment. Um, that's a big thing going on with me. Let's see. I watched a bunch of anime. There are some model kits that are coming out as part of the Gundam Online Expo. And some of them look incredible. And I don't think I'm going to have money to buy any of them. But we'll see what happens when they go online. There's a very good priced Charzaku clear. It's not the Zaku 2, it's Charzaku, which I've built a lot of. It's a master grade, but like even a master grade for $38 is a pretty good deal, especially when it's clear. And I've said this, I think I said this when I retweeted the photo. I have clearly, in my time on on this stream, built a lot of Zakus, both Zakus, Zaku 2s, and variations of the Zaku. I have built a lot of them. Uh, this one is very tempting, and the price is very good. But it all depends. I am patiently waiting for a freelance gig that I did that has been. I'm patiently waiting for them to pay me because they've had some financial issues, which I am trying very much to be like understanding of. But at a certain point, it's like, well, y'all got to pay me. Uh, that would be very nice. So I am still waiting on that, and if that comes through, I can put a little bit of money into that. Lastbrook says, today's a big download day for me. Been downloading MS Flight Sim all day, and I have an Apex patch at midnight, which I thought was now because I am absolutely trash at converting time zones. Well, Lastbrook, yeah, it's probably not now. You got to wait a little while longer for your patch. Um, but I'm glad you're getting a patch. I hope it's a real good one, uh, and you get what you're looking for with that. And also, I hope you have a real good time with the new flight sim. That sounds real neat. I've been looking at that, keeping my eye on what's going on with that, and it seems real cool. And some people are real good. How big is this flight? Or first off, hi, Aristophan. Well, I know it's like because in Europe they're selling it on DVD, and it's like for the PC version, you can actually get physical because they know there'll be some people that maybe live in an area where they don't want to download all that, or they don't download games but still want it. So I know in Europe there's the physical release, and that's like a bunch of discs. It's a big game, uh, because there is apparently the telemetry, like the is a lot. It's apparently a whole dang lot of data and location stuff. Because there's like a drone mode, and you can get real close to the ground apparently. So they apparently, sounds like they put a lot into it, and that's rad. Um, uh, it's not necessarily a game for me, but it is a game that uh, is 92 gigs download and 127 gig install. Wow. Yeah, that sounds like a lot. That sounds like people like someone's going to buy that and be like, "Oh wait, I don't have room for this. Oh no. Oh no, I don't have room for this game." And they're just like frantically deleting things and moving things on there. Why didn't Blu-ray ever become standard on computers? Um I heard that the install was all on DVDs. Yeah, the Aristophan it is cuz so that is a lot. So I think that to answer your question, um, I think that Blu-rays didn't catch on because drives are aren't well, not drives of any kind are not like they're just not a perceived thing that people want. I'm sure that there are people that do want that, but I think physical media on that, like people, like if you're going to distribute something and it is not done online, then it is probably going to be a uh, you're going to get like a USB. drive. You're probably just getting a drive instead of physical media. I believe it's 10 dual layer DVDs. Yep, that sounds about right. 10 dual layer DVDs sounds about like 100 something gigs. That checks out. Yeah, that's massive. Yeah, I think people are just like. Also, I don't think look, Blu-ray caught on in it so much as Blu-ray is the standard that people went with over HD DVD. But it's not like everybody. Some people did, but not everybody was like, well, I'm throwing away my DVD collection and I'm getting all Blu-rays and replacing all my DVDs with Blu-rays. I think people were just like, okay, well, I'll buy a couple Blu-rays, and I guess I'll have a Blu-ray player because it also plays my DVDs. So when my DVD player goes out, I guess I'll do that. And I guess new stuff won't be coming out on DVD anymore. But it's not like, because the thing is, people already did that. Like, they already bought all these DVDs. They bought all those DVDs because people were like, VHS is done. A lot of cases now don't even have the capacity. Yes, my case has a slot for it, but a lot of cases they don't have an optical drive slot or room for optical drives in it. You'd have to put in where a hard drive was and open up the case, I guess. But yeah, there are some PC cases that are just like, yeah, we don't put that there because you don't want these. You want a fan there for your intake. All right, so it depends. It expands moving for legs. So what do I want to do here? Oh, okay. So I can put these on there, and I can put some stuff here. So I'm gonna put. I don't know what J110 is supposed to be. The explanation here of what I'm supposed to be doing here is not exactly what I would like. I think I'm putting this armor here. Oh, okay. So I'm putting that on the actual leg. They're not making that as clear as I would like. Does that go in the back? That goes in the back of the leg. Okay, that makes more sense. All right. Sorry, got distracted. Yeah, I mean, like, I just think physical media. People were just like, okay, people are still going to do that for movies, I guess, but like, I mean, I don't know the numbers, right? I can't tell you what the numbers are for people buying Blu-rays versus digital downloads. Hey, Lord Crashington, welcome, welcome. I can only tell you that, like, I've had this computer for a couple of years, and I've put one DVD in it, so much so that when I moved here, the DVD drive didn't come with me. I took it out of this computer before I moved here. It's in storage because I was like, I can take this out. And then I was like, I took it out, and I was like, I don't want this. I don't need this. Yeah, it just didn't make sense to have. Okay, so put this on here. So yeah, so we're putting this exterior armor here, the Chobam armors, on this, really changing up how this kit looks. I do think it's pretty neat looking with this extra armor on. And I totally understand why some people would want to have two of these to show the original version and then the upgrade version, or the armor version. I totally get that. And like I said, I think you could make a strong case for the idea, which I think is pretty neat, of not putting all the armor on. Hey, what's up, Dirty? Welcome, welcome. Happy to have folks here. Glad you all could come in. We got a fun night of model kit building and chatting about whatevs. Let's see. What did I say earlier about? Yeah, I'm waiting for a bit of a payout here, but it has not come yet. That is the big thing that I'm waiting for. So it does not look. I do not think I will be buying things from Bandai, even though some of them are coming in September, so it won't be a long pre-order. I have other things coming to build, so it's not like I'm really like, oh, I really need this stuff. It'd be stuff that I would look at if I went to a convention. I guess that's what I would say. I haven't decided what I want to get online Expo yet. There's a shirt I really like that I might get if it wasn't $42 and also a size too small. Lastbrook, those are two very good reasons not to get that shirt. One is that it's $42 for a shirt, and two, it's doesn't fit. Very good reasons not to get that shirt. GM, also want to say hi. Welcome. Happy to have you. Welcome, welcome. But yeah, you just made a really strong case for not getting that shirt. There's a clear version of the Hello Kitty kit I'm definitely getting. Lashbrook, that does look real good. That looks real nice. You're not wrong. Like I said, I'm tempted by a lot of what is out there. It's just unfortunately, yeah, the financial situation right now does not justify it unless the people that owe me money are going to pay me, which would be great if they did. It would be great for multiple reasons if I could get paid for this thing. So hopefully that will happen, and then I can put some of the funds towards that. The whole online convention thing is still such a weird concept in action. Yeah, I mean, like Lord Crash said, people are trying to figure out what it means, right? So, like, I tuned in a bunch this weekend to FlameCon for panels. FlameCon basically was like, if you were going to be in the expo hall, you know, tweet out during the convention and we'll retweet you if you have a store, right? Uh, and then they just did a bunch of panels that probably would have been at the convention, and maybe a few that wouldn't have because people wouldn't have been able to travel or wouldn't have been interested in traveling. So there were a few people that were able to probably do that. So it was a lot of panels on Twitch and a lot of that. But one of the reasons, the thing that makes FlameCon so special is being there and being around people. And seeing the cosplay. And so some people post photos of like, this is what I was going to wear. And I didn't finish it yet because I'm not going to conventions, but this is the concept. And some people were like, I was going to break this out. So like the person I see who always does a very obscure costume for Rogue, she goes out her way to like cosplay as like Rogue, seen only in 4 issues of Incredible X-Men. She like posted her photo and it was like neat to see. But you didn't have the, like, folks running into each other. You know, like, I didn't have the conversation I had with a lady who had come to FlameCon and didn't tell anybody that's where she was because she was questioning her identity and did had, like, kind of seen it online and nobody, and her friends or family knew that about her. So she like didn't tell anybody, but then she didn't know anybody, so she like struck a conversation with me because I was volunteering, and very clearly needed to talk to someone. So it was like like that. You don't get that at an online convention. Hopefully you get more commerce because there are people that planned for this year to be okay for them via conventions that don't get that at all. Especially folks at the beginning of this year who probably didn't get their money back from the airlines. Those conventions that got canceled in, in April and May. Some of them got canceled very last minute. And some people got hosed because maybe they weren't going to stay at the major hotel at a convention. They were going to stay at an Airbnb, and so they didn't get all their money back or any of their money back. They didn't get a plane ticket; they got a train ticket, and the train ticket was non-refundable, and so they're out that money. So there were some people that are definitely hurting from conventions. Uh, uh, Seeing the scarcity of the special items at SDCC being laid out nakedly on the internet to experience fans was fun to see. Yeah, I mean you're definitely true. And Lashbrook says, I don't know what this expo is in addition to another opportunity to spend money. Yeah, I mean, Lashbrook, this Gundam expo is, oh no, we plan to sell a bunch of stuff at conventions this year. How do we build excitement about these event exclusives that we were going to put up? Let's do a thing so we can talk about these event exclusives that we were going to put up. Like this one is, this isn't like, oh, well, we're going to announce this thing. It's like, because they're not like announcing like, hey, during SDCC Online, we're announcing the things that would have been there. They're just like, we'll do our own event because I don't know what else to do. Aristophan says Summer Games Done Quick is this week, and while the streams have been great, the absence of live audience is significant. Yes, Aristophan. I have not seen the buzz about GDQ from people that I pay attention to on Twitter. Outside of the folks that I know, I started to this year, particularly. I got to know a few streamers and or runners, and I follow them, and some of them follow me because I got involved a little bit with a GDQ event, which I was very happy to do. I was very excited to take part in that event. So I've been able to meet a couple people because of that, and so like I know their schedule, but the folks I know who generally talk a lot about GDQ haven't really spoken about it. And it might just be that it's, it's all digital and there isn't that live crowd. They're all watching on Twitch. And it is, I'm sure it's a different vibe. I mean, it could not be a different vibe, right? It had to be to feel a little different. Obviously, runners in their general running practice and they run online, they maybe have somebody hanging out with them, but they don't often have somebody, have an audience. But, it's special for GDQs. You get that crowd, you get that audience response. You got your couch with your friends, or or other people that do runs with you, or the people that you've known for a long time that you just want to have on the couch. Like, it's a different vibe, and it's gonna just feel differently, and it's weird. I know that is a weird thing. Hopefully, it will still turn out great, and they'll still raise a bunch of money. I hope, but yeah, I think it's a little bit of a different vibe. All right, so now we're going to put if you thought, oh, this thing doesn't have protective armor on its head, you're wrong, and now I'll show you by putting the protective armor on its head. Face armor. You got to put some big old face armor on this thing. And also not break the antenna as we put this on. Try to be gentle with it. It just snaps on like that. And there we go. Yeah, I mean, Lord Crash did. Yeah, they'll be because the Republican National Convention will be at the White House. There will be some people, so it will feel similar to the previous conventions. The Democratic National Convention will definitely feel more like somebody trying to put on a big Zoom event. But yeah. I feel like a few people on many, many different political campaigns suddenly had more responsibilities than they previously assumed they would have because they became tech support. Whereas before they were probably just social media people. And suddenly they're helping out with lighting a room for a Zoom call with someone running for president that they probably did not expect to do in the future or the past. First, I read that as weird anime spectacles, and my imagination went wild. Yeah. I mean, oh, it does say that is weird anime spectacles. Yes. My closed captioning just is apparently learning from me, and just thinking that I had said that, so I assume. And getting all the old people together to see if any tech issues happen. Yes. But even like, we saw in the summer of E3, the spread out, personal E3, people who just like, oh, you've never spent any time in your home office before. Cool. You got nothing in your home office, huh? Or, oh, what room is this in your big house? Fancy tech giant. Cool. You put a lava lamp there on the floor, huh? That's a weird choice, but I like the choice. Replace 1 out of every 5 words with anime for bat. Yeah. Yes, if the closed captioning started to be able to do predictive text, that any word of like they hear May and they're just like, oh, he said anime. It's like, no, I didn't. Uh, I've never really looked at the closed captioning, uh, but it doesn't do a great job for me. So sorry for folks that are leaning on it. If you're leaning on that, I apologize. Um, if it does not fully capture what I am saying. All right, I'm gonna take a photo because this is done. We put all this crazy big armor on here. You might notice no armor on the feet. Apparently, the feet strong enough, or maybe Gundam pilots don't shoot at the feet. You know, as they always say, a Gundam doesn't need legs. It's just cooler with legs. So we finished that. Uh, I saw the Twitter person that figured out a bunch of talking heads on Fox and such use the same remote studio set for their interviews for the past few years. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, I mean there are a bunch of so uh most of the time if you are a talking head on a show, you're not in the before times in pre-2020. Uh there are affiliates that you go into to do that. Like in New York, you might actually go in, but also even in New York, if you're going to go on a show that where the host is in New York, you're probably actually not going to be even in person. They'll still want you remote, and now that might be a direct connection because you're in an office. But a lot of times, yeah, there are probably some remote studios in a lot of places that people go and use. Um, because it is just so much easier than um, than just having people's home connection. Don't shoot my feet, Achilles Gundam. Yes, indeed. All right, so that's it for this build. Um, there's a lot I like about this kit. I do like the that this thing allows for the guns to work, which is a fun addition. It still pops up and lets you shoot the arm guns there. I like that. Uh, I don't know if I like the armor on the head. I think it kind of looks a little cheesy, like an afterthought. Um, that Gundam has some cool kicks. Yeah. I love the colors of this Gundam. It's standard, but I still think it looks really neat. I think that yeah, I don't know if the outer armor holds up under scrutiny, but I think the concept is really cool. And also, I like that. Like instead of like, oh, this Gundam got beat up, and so they upgraded it, and now it's a cool new version. It's just like, hey, this Gundam got beat up. Can we like build like better armor for it? Can we make it more tank? Now, is it less cool this way? Yes, but is its own kind of cool? Also yes. Anyway, that's it. That's the NT-1. We finished that kit. It was a fun build. Happy to have worked on it, and now we are going to. It's funny because the armor comes off immediately in the OVA. So, Mudo, this is great. This is not something I knew. I'm not super familiar with NT-1. But I love that. I love the idea that they put all this extra armor on it to really help it out, and then it just like got fucked. It was just like that didn't work. We're gonna move on to the arc. Now, if you remember, the Impulse Gundam arc is also it's a build. It's from Build Divers, and this kit it's very similar to the Impulse Lancer, which we built previously on this stream. In fact, I'm just gonna get up and get it. No need to even click away. I'll go grab the Lancer so we can see the Lancer. So this is, I should have grabbed it earlier and I didn't. This is the Lancer. As you can see, it is basically the twin. This is the sibling of the Arc because they're both based on the Impulse. And they both separate and become vehicle modes. But because they separate, we can remove this part here. And what we'll be able to do is switch the upper and lower parts of the kit. I'm going to adjust this a little here. Sorry. Like that, yeah. So we can separate them. So we'll put this aside, and then we'll just basically be able to swap out the tops and bottoms of it, which is pretty neat. It's pretty nonsensical, but in a way that I can appreciate. Anyway, yeah, let's move on to this next kit. So yeah, conventions. This is a pretty okay to time to remind you all that I am doing a convention, an online convention. I have a panel at PAX Online. I'll click this right here. It is Pat Bear's Anime Club yelling about the shows we love, featuring Corey Dickinson and Beej from Loading Ready Run. And it's on Sunday, the 13th at 6:45 p.m. Eastern at twitch.tv/PAX2. It is a pre-recorded panel, but you can watch it there. I'll be in the chat. I'll also host it here, so I'll be kind of keeping an eye on Twitch chat, but I'll be hosting the stream here so that people can watch it in this chat if they'd like, and I'll be here in this chat as well. And I thought that would be kind of fun to do. So I hope people check it out because I think it'll be a fun panel. We recorded it. I think it's good, so hopefully you'll be able to check that out. But that is the I forgot I took this piece out. So we're building this high grade. It is a 1/100 scale. 144 scale high grade. That is the traditional because you don't see the 1/100 high grades anymore. You see the no grades, and then you also see the RE100s. Basically, RE100s are kind of the only non-master grades you're going to find in that scale, and they're somewhere in between a high grade and a master grade, which is still good, but yeah, a bit different. So yeah, that is a panel that I'm doing. I'm also taking part in another panel which has not advertised me as being on it yet because they have not advertised who is doing it. And when they advertise that, I will let you know because then I'll that once they start talking about it, I'm waiting for them. They said that they would do it soon. They were waiting to, I think, finish recording everything because they're doing it in multiple parts because it is a competitive show, so they can record it a bunch of different over a bunch of different times and different setups. So I'm taking place of that. I'll let you know more about that when it comes in. But yeah, I'm only doing 2 panels at PAX, even though it's a 9-day event. I'm only taking part in 2, which is low for me, but that's what happened. That's what happened this time. All right, so we'll put that on there. This is going to be a very similar build to the Arc, or not the Arc, the Impulse. It's a very much a similar kit. I don't expect there to be many differences in it, but it was a little while ago that I built it, so I don't really super remember every part of it. Some of the armor is different. The weapon is definitely different. This one has a more traditional weapon. Again, I still wish that we'll get to the chest piece, which we're going to be putting on very soon. I still wish the chest piece wasn't a sticker. I wish it was plastic because, or like the see-through, because I think that's way cooler than what we're going to put on there. I just think of yeah. I think it's neater to do the other way, but whatever. It is what it is. And then we need C. There's C2. C15. Oh. I was like, I'm looking at C2. Where's C1? This is one of those odd things where here's C1, here's C2. They're on the same sheet, and so I was confused for a moment, but now I'm not confused because I see what's going on. I do think this blue is very striking. I like the colors of this one. I think I like the colors of this better than I like this, although these color red are pretty striking, and the maroon and pink like play off each other in a way that I very much enjoy. I think the weapons being like I don't love the gold, the yellow in that. So I think I like this color set probably better. Okay, so this is going to go, we're going to go here. If I feel a little off tonight, I just got it. I had a remnants of a piece of popcorn in my mouth that I could not get out, and it was kind of making me a little batty, but I'm better now because I think I got it. Uh, it's an odd thing to say. I don't think I've ever built enough kits to see the conjoined sheet thing. Oh yeah, it doesn't happen all the time. It often happens where it's like sometimes there'll be like A1, A2, A3 or 4. It's generally because they're like adding new things or reusing things, especially in the high grades where they're trying to reuse some stuff. Um, because you'll have things like in this last kit, because it was version 2, there was a better, different weapons, but there were still pieces for the old weapon left on the sheet because they didn't remove it because didn't matter to remove it. Um, the leftover parts are always an odd thing, but that generally a lot not generally, but a lot of times happens because yeah, of the version that has been put out. For some reason they combined it. Oh, always hate food getting stuck in your mouth teeth. Yeah. This is a weird little thing. We'll talk a little bit about food. Let's talk a little bit about food. Why not? Why don't we? Um, so yeah, uh, there's a lot of popcorn in this house. I'm not complaining, but I don't. When I lived alone or when I had a roommate, but I was doing all the food shopping for myself, when I was in charge of me buying food for me, I did not go out of my way of buying popcorn. It's just not a thing that I, wanted to get all the time. So I didn't. But I'm living in a house with people that really love popcorn. And so there's a lot of popcorn in this house. And I've eaten a lot of it since I've been here. It There's nothing special about it. I'm not like making any grand statements or anything, y'all. I'm just letting you know there's a lot of popcorn in this house for me to eat. And I'm not complaining, but I am noticing that, like, oh, I am often just like constantly have just like popcorn available is a weird thing. I haven't had Pringles in a while. I think I'm going to make that request. Give me some. Hey, what about Pringles? Next time you go shopping, give me some Pringles. Just haven't had any in a while. You know, I even did not too long ago, did a Baering the List about. Did I do a Baering the List about Pringles? Ah, shit, I ruined it. This Wednesday, the next Baering the List is about Pringles. Sorry to. I thought I couldn't remember when that went up, and I couldn't remember when it went up because it hasn't gone up yet. But that's the next one. The next Baering the List is Pringle flavors. So look forward to that, I guess. If you like Baering the Lists, this last one got some views, and so I'm happy about that. Not many comments, but that's okay. It was a long one, so I kind of want to do one that wasn't that long. So often when I want to do one that's a little shorter, I'll do a food one because those don't take as much time. I kind of ruined this sticker, but not really ruined it. I just didn't put it on as well as I could have, and that's okay. It'll be partially covered up by this. Yeah, that's first score. But yeah, I wish that sticker was plastic. I think I wish that was green or maybe like over the sticker there was a piece of clear plastic to kind of make it pop. It's the same thing with this, where it's just a sticker in there, and I don't like that as much. You know, that's my always be my preference. Pringles are good; they just don't give you enough per package. I could see that, Lastbrook. I think a can of Pringles last a while. Uh, but I've gotten requests of like, hey, what are you missing? What do you wish you had? And generally, because my folks are caring, loving people, so they're asking me what I'm looking for, which I appreciate very much. Do not get me wrong. Um, but yeah, a lot of times I'm just like, it's snack stuff. I just miss, I miss snack stuff now and again. Also, not that I ate it all the time, but like, it makes perfect sense that my parents do not want to eat fast food. and I shouldn't eat fast food. But I'll let you know that I haven't had any fast food since I got here. The closest thing I've had to fast food is some takeout. We did pizza on Sunday, uh, and that's like the closest thing to fast food I've had, and it's weird. I'm not used to that. I'm used to having some sort of, you know, some sort of fast food at some point. I lived by a McDonald's, so I definitely got that a few times in the lockdown, and so it's just, yeah, kind of weird not to have that. Uh, I get why we aren't, but it's strange. But I did get pizza. There is a. I'll say this, y'all. Like obviously, uh, I know that I am a pizza snob because I've had incredibly good pizza for a good portion of my adult life. I was blessed with living in a city that had great pizza, so I know that I am spoiled by that. This pizza, pretty dang good. The owner is from Wallingford, Connecticut, and knows good pizza. Worked at some really good pizza places before moving down here and opening up a pizza place. And yeah, they do a good job. So I'm pleasantly surprised to have a good pizza place. I will say it was weird because the pepperoni were very big slices of pepperoni. And you don't see that all that often. Usually your pepperoni is a bit smaller. But this was big slices of pepperoni, and that was kind of odd. But still good. Still good pizza. Uh, no, it was, so Ristovan, it was closer to Chicago style. Not Chicago, sorry, you said that. It was closer to New York style, because Connecticut is very close to New York style pizza. It's closer to that than anything else. Um, uh, because of proximity and also proximity of Italians that had moved from New York spread out. So it is more like New York style pizza. It's not quite New York style, but it was close. It was good and good. So I'll take it. I'll take pizza that was like, oh, that was good. Decent sauce. Always happy about it. I like to have possibly too many chips with my sandwiches, says Lashbrook. Yeah, I hear you. Try to control my Pringle consumption by buying those snack pack sizes. Yeah, see, definitely not enough snack pack. Snack pack is definitely not enough, but I think a whole can you can make do with over a couple sittings. I'm partial to Detroit, then Chicago, then New York style. Yeah, I mean, I look. Here's the thing. Um, I've never had like bar style Chicago. I've had deep dish, and I can appreciate it. And I've had Detroit style pizza, which is its own wonderful thing, which I appreciate. I am more partial to New York style because I like a slice of pie. I like a slice of you can fold, and move the plate around a little bit and walk down the street, eat your slice of pizza. That sounds great. Um, but I think that Detroit style and also traditional Chicago, not necessarily the bar style, but the deep dish style Chicago, I can appreciate it, but I'm never thinking about it. I'm never like craving it. Uh, I've had good of it. But yeah, I'm definitely more interested in New York style, and then below that is Worcester Street, which is a street in Connecticut. It is the New Haven, Connecticut style of pizza, very traditional, irregular shaped pies, really great ingredients. Uh, just such a great style of pizza that is close to New York but isn't quite New York. Um, and I have a lot of love for that, and I miss it. Because it's just great pizza. I like great pizza. What can I say? All right, we got another sticker to put on here. We're moving on to the head of this kit. This kit should not be a long build. It should be nice, pretty quick to put together. I don't remember the other one having any issues. I think the only issue I believe I had an issue. Yes. So the issue I had here, and I'm going to remember it, is this part of the head on the right here, part of the crown broke off, and I had to uh, liquid cement it back in place. So I am going to be extra careful when applying this crown, so that I do not make the same mistake that I made previously. Because while the liquid cement did work, I don't want to worry about that. I did drop it, so even though I said that I'm going to take better care of it, I did immediately snip it out and drop it on the floor. I'm not familiar with Detroit style. Yeah, it's great. West Coast doesn't only get location styles of pizza. Yeah, you get like California Pizza Kitchen, and you get like people transplanted from other parts of the country doing pizza there. Um, so I'm gonna actually pizza. We're just like they're like, do you mean Detroit Pistons? And I was like, no, I do not mean Detroit Pistons. So basically, it is. So one of the things is that it's layered, right? It is similar to Chicago style in that it's layered, but you still end up with toppings on the top. You often end up with sauce on the top. Um, One of the things that also makes it stand out is you're using Wisconsin cheese, so you're using local cheese. I think it's Wisconsin brick cheese. So you're not using traditional mozzarella. You're using like locally sourced, um, or imitating that locally sourced style uh, of cheese. So it is a different. It definitely is a different style because of that. All right, so we got to put 2 on here, which is just so tiny. These are very tiny stickers we got to put on this thing here. So we're going to try to be very careful about getting this sticker out, and hopefully we'll apply it fast and it will stay. Um, Squash thick and no crust. Yeah, you're not really getting a crust around it. Um, Sort of like pan pizza, but with cheese on the crust that cooks up. Yes, but you're not getting like if there's any pizza where you would use a fork and knife, to me anyway, Detroit style makes a lot of sense. Like, oh, I should say that you can use a fork and knife anytime you want. I don't care. However you want to eat your pizza, as long as you're eating pizza, I'm fine. You do you. You eat it however you want to eat it. But I do, but like specifically with Detroit style, like if you need a knife and fork to get at that thing because you're eating dinner, it is because some people say that Chicago style is lasagna, Detroit style is lasagna. Uh, just because it is, it's. I mean, look, it's Detroit, it's the Midwest, it's a casserole. Like, there's nothing wrong with that, and there's no shade in it. I'm not like disparaging it in any way, shape, or form. It is what it is, but it is that, and I think it's great. It's a great play. All right, so D2. Let's see, where's D2? That's B. D2. There's D2. Great. So we need D2. And we need F2. I, C, B, F2. I miss my shelving unit so much. So much easier when I had the shelves, but it didn't make sense to bring that with me, so I didn't bring it with me. All right. Oh, here we go. So, all right. Oh man. I remember Chicago Transfer Pizza place where I could get a med deep dish that weighed 7 to 12 pounds. Yup. Uh, that thing was 5 layers of meat, 3 of cheese, and covered in sauce. Yeah. Oh no. I mean, good Chicago style is a meal. Good Detroit style is a meal. Good New York style is like, look, this is the only thing I can tell you. Um, if you want good New York style, you got to eat a lot of it because a good New York slice is good. It's good, and maybe it's filling you up with grease, but it's not filling you up for. It's not a slice of New York pie is not dinner. A slice of New York pie is I got places to be. I'm gonna have a slice of pizza on the way. That's the New York style. Okay, so we're gonna put the plastic on here first, and then we'll put the sticker on the eyes after, because I want to make sure I got this on right before I put the sticker on, because I don't want to have to redo the eye sticker, because I only get really one shot at that. Okay, so eyes are on, or things on there, and now we'll put the eye sticker on. See how we do with that. It's a high grade, so you got to have stickers. It's important. They mean a lot to the design. That's the New York mindset, baby. Yeah, you're not wrong. It is like, I got. Look, I don't have time to sit around here and eat a lot of pizza. I need I want one slice to go. Maybe we're gonna eat one here in the place, and then we're gonna take the other with us. Now we're definitely not gonna do that because we do not want to be indoors. Lord Crashington just redeemed the gong. It's gong time. Also, hey, whoever just renewed their Twitch, thank you so much. If you want to hit that notification, that would be great. But I noticed that it went up one, so that means that somebody probably renewed their Prime. And thank you very much for doing that. If you want to put that notifications on, so we all say thank you, feel free. If not, that's also your call. But because Lord Crash had redeemed the gong, it's time to gong. Then we're going to put the sticker on. We'll do a little bit more of the head, and then we are going to take our pause for the cause. Yes, Lord Crash, and it is the halftime gong. So I'm going to hit this gong. Here we go. All right. We have hit that gong. Thank you very much for redeeming that. I'm going to put a sticker on here, on the head here, and then we will get ready to move on to me talking about ways you can support the channel. Speaking of subscribing, and then also we will talk about some anime. I've got a bunch of anime to talk about because this weekend there were the My Hero Academia OVAs came out. Two OVAs set in before the fourth season, but with the fourth season opening and entrance themes, opening and closing themes. So those came out, but I was very busy on Saturday, so I didn't get a chance to watch them before the stream. So I watched them for today, which is good because I always have less stuff to talk about today. Okay, so we'll take a pause for the calls here. I only had a few slices of my style back in the 90s when I visited. Or New York style, sorry. Other than that, there's a transplant in Hawaii and another joint in Austin where you get a slice and a drink for $5, so that was lunch every day. I worked at GameStop. Yeah, a slice and a drink. Yeah, that sounds about right, $5 for that, yeah, sounds pretty good. I'd probably end up with 2 slices because I'm me, but yeah. All right, so we're going to take a pause for the cause. If you're new to the stream or it's been a while and you don't remember what that means, it's just me talking about ways you can support the stream. I'll try to keep it short, but we'll get back to building in just a moment or two. But first, if you're currently a subscriber, you can throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the site, the moat in the chat. Let the people know. If you have Amazon Prime, you could link it and get Twitch Prime, Prime. Your Prime works here on Twitch, and you could use that. It's like having cash, but not using cash. Or you could use cash money. You could also gift a sub. If there's somebody here in chat that you think like, oh, you know what? I'll gift a random person a sub. So somebody watching along becomes a subscriber. You could do that. You could join Adjective Noun Gaming in there as somebody that did that. Or you could do bits and coins. Bits and coins are always appreciated. Right now, our leaderboard for bits and coins this month is Harold and Dirty. And so you could join that board if you want to. You join the leaderboard. Bits and coins always appreciated. Just hitting that, making sure that I get that payout every month. It helps me out so much, and I want to thank you for doing that. Now, are there other ways that people could support my streams? Yes. Again, we're going to talk about this as quickly as possible. Then we'll get back into the old building thing. And I'm going to talk about some anime that came out since the last stream, or that I watched since the last stream. I'm going to talk about some Nightbot stuff here. I have a Patreon. There are $1, $5, $3, $10 tiers. Find the tier that's comfortable for you. There was a thing going around. Did I retweet it because it does apply to me? Yes. That even if a small percentage of my Twitter followers gave me $1 a month on Patreon, it would dramatically change things for me. And that's accurate and true. Because I have, let's go over to the old profile here on there. Yeah, I have over almost 7,000 Twitter followers. So if 700 of them did $1 a month, it would dramatically change things. Now, am I asking for that? No, that's not plausible. But it does. Like, those dollars do add up on Patreon. And even if 100 people decided to jump in with that, it would help me out quite a bit. So that is an easy way to kind of help out. One-time donations, they go to buying model kits. Everything I make goes to buying model kits on Twitch and Patreon, and through Coffee and Streamlabs and PayPal. If you donate during the stream, that just goes to me buying model kits. That is a way to support me. This kit that we're building right now was bought by Lashbrook off my Amazon wish list. Apparently I have a Lego set coming from that wish list that I'll be keeping an eye out for. That'll go to be built in the future. But I've got a cheap Lego set on there. I've got some more expensive stuff. I've got high grades like this. I've got master grades. I've got some papercraft stuff. I try to mix and match, or mix up a bunch of different kinds of things that you could buy if you wanted to. And I try to keep an eye out for myself. While I do think, obviously, $55 is a whole lot of money, and I'm not saying you should spend $55 on me, but I will say that the Kyrios Gundam is on sale for $55. It was previously 60 something on there, so it's a good deal. But yeah, I got a bunch of different stuff on there, and you could buy something. At the very bottom is also some equipment that if that was something you'd want to do, you could, and it would help me out, but it's not necessary. The alternative to my Amazon wish list. Oh, I build stuff for my wish list before I build stuff in my backlog. I've got two things in my backlog: a high grade and a very small scale model of the Defiant from Deep Space Nine. But I'll build that, when I don't have anything in my back or anything from my wish list to build. But you can also buy a gift card at USA Gundam Store. You go to USA Gundam Store, you see what they have there as far as the gift cards. You get a code in your email, then you whisper me on Twitch, you DM me on Twitter, and you go, hey, here's this gift card code, and then I'll buy something from them. Maybe I'll pre-order something, or maybe I'll just buy something that's in the store. That's another way to support me. Again, all of this is optional. You watching is it the most important thing to me. If you're watching on YouTube after the fact, hi. All the links I just said are in the show description. If you're watching this on VOD on Twitch, go to twitter.com and find out information about how you can support me, because my wish list is in my Twitter bio. I have a Discord. You just join my Discord if you want. I post photos. People post things that they're into and what they're up to. Hey, this is a call to action. If you're in the Discord and you've been building anything, feel free to share those photos. It's been a little while since other people shared stuff. A few of you do, but I would love to see more of it. So if you're doing model kit building these days, why not post in there? Even just to get a thumbs up from somebody. All right, we're going to get real quick, and then we're going to go back to building. We'll be back building in just a moment. Let's see. Today, I put out a new episode of Pat Baer's Anime Club, and you should watch it. Did you know this? That on YouTube, there are other people doing commentary about anime, and some of them only talk about one show or one style of shows. I talk about those sites, the sites I like, and those sites I go to for news and commentary about anime. So it might, like everything from a person that covers a lot of fantasy and isekai and does information about, like, hey, what got cut from the anime that was in the manga, to someone that every day posts a video about One Piece, and then also has a secondary channel where he posts things about other anime that he's into. Yeah, I made a video about that. So if you're interested in like looking for something new on YouTube, maybe I can recommend something in there. And then speaking of anime, Baering the List. This was the one I put up last Wednesday. This Baering the List is all about uh, shonen protagonists. I talk about a lot of shonen protagonists and I rank them because that's what the show is about. Okay, I think I'm gonna reply to this one. Go working on the arc, and talking new anime because we got some new anime stuff to talk about. So we'll talk about that, and then hopefully we get a few more lovely people coming to chat. But let's get back to the building portion. I'm going to drink a little water, and then we're going to get back to building this cool thing. All right. So, let's see. We got to talk about some anime. So let's talk about some anime. I know you're sitting there going, Pat, let's talk about some anime. And you're right. We should talk about some anime. Um, okay, so One Piece. Well, this wasn't. This was probably the least good episode in a little while. We once Luffy started fighting, I think things have picked up in a way that I've been pretty dang into. And then this episode was a little less good, a little more like, all right. Um, like there was no Zoro in this episode, and I know that Zoro's gonna go fight, but like there was nothing, uh, and that's a bummer. Um, let's see, I 17, great, we'll get that going. Okay, so what did happen in this episode of One Piece? Well, so the old man Hyo, who used to be a powerful Yakuza boss, um, he's he's trying to teach Luffy this version of hockey that he knows that was created in Wano apparently, or yeah, I think that's what it was, called Ryo. Uh, and Luffy wants to train with more people. Queen is kind of getting pissed off that it didn't work out. That Luffy's still alive. So apparently, Luffy being angry and his fist of being angry, he can't use this thing. So he's getting pissed off because it's not working because Luffy is bad at training things. So it's just not kind of working. Um, so we find out that the kind of weird old guy that smiles all the time and has been taking care of people, Yashu, apparently he is Otoko, or Toko. He is Otoko's father, and it makes sense because we dropped a little frames there, but look, we're okay. It makes sense because she laughs all the time and is really weird, and he laughs all the time. So it kind of makes sense. I will say that it means that he definitely had a child late in life because he seems pretty dang old and she seems very young. So that was like, oh, okay. Um, let's see. So Hyo and Luffy talk, and then Raizo the ninja shows up, and Hyo's like, "Wait, you're alive? What's happening?" And they find out what's going on in the revolution, and they're pretty psyched about it. And then, it looks like Yashu. We learned a lot about him and what he's doing with, but it looks like he's about to get captured because he's been stealing because his daughter fled. She was giving him money so he could help people, but now she's fled, so that's not going to happen anymore. And then, oh yeah, hey, remember Caribou? The shitty dude that can make his body all weird? An autumn spring romance. Yeah, apparently, Dirty, we don't know anything about the mom, but yeah, I assumed that he was her grandfather and not her father, but whatever. So you may remember Caribou. He's a pirate that has definitely tried to kill Luffy before, but he's been trapped in Wano, um, and so he is offered his assistance, and he actually will be good because he brought Luffy some food. Uh, and then we saw more of Big Mom. Big Mama is close. Big Mom, who has amnesia, is close to there. But yeah, now Caribou is part of the alliance, and they say like, "Hey, Hyo's like there are people in this prison, but not all of them are criminals. A lot of them are political prisoners because they opposed Kaido. So you could probably get a lot of people to help you out that would be psyched, including the guy who's in prison in a cell that we kind of alluded to is is the dude that raised Momo's sister. So like, okay, there's gonna be some people here that can fight, which sounds great. So yeah, not my favorite episode of this current run. I feel like not enough happened in this one, but some stuff happened, and I'm not, I just want to see, I just want to see Zoro get his sword back because he needs his third sword, especially since it is his best sword. So I just want to see that. I want to see some more action with that, but whatever. Okay, Ninja Collection again, right off the bat. I don't think Ninja Collection is that great, but it's 5-minute episodes, and I kind of dig the art style. I know some people really hate it, but I think it's kind of neat, so I'm not opposed to it. It's just not particularly great. But every episode is kind of self-contained. The basic premise is there are evil spirits in the world, and a collection of ninjas fight these evil spirits. And so it's usually some of these are like based on myth stuff or Japanese folklore. Some of that is just modern stuff that doesn't really have any place anywhere else, but is pretty interesting. And so let's see. In this episode, a kid is drawing. So it's a kindergarten class, and a kid is, or I think it's kindergarten, but it's a class, and a kid is drawing what he calls shadies, and shadies are like things he can see, and they are like, and the teacher's like asking him like, "Oh, what does that mean?" And like she's like being, she's being a good enough teacher. She's like asking him questions, and you could appreciate that she's like not telling him to shut up, keep drawing. But there are shadies, and scary shadies show up. Then a whoosher takes care of them because they whoosh in. It sounds like whoosh. And then later the teacher is cleaning up at night. I don't know why she's there that late. And she hears something where the kid said there was a shady. And then things get scary and spooky and bad. And it definitely looks like some sort of monster is going to kill this teacher, which would obviously be bad because, that's not cool. But then there is a whoosh, and then one of the ninjas is there and kills the shady. And the next day, the kid notices the shady is gone. And she's like, "Yeah." And you can hear in her voice, she's like, "Yeah, must have been one of the whooshers, huh?" And she's like tries to like ask a follow-up of like, do they come back? Or like she doesn't really get it, get to finish her thought. But she definitely had a paranormal experience. But thank God there's some ninjas. And that's it. So far, I'll let you know, y'all, the ninjas have not lost. They've done an excellent job. We have not seen them go like, shit, didn't get here in time. I don't know if that's going to happen, but that is a thing that I noticed. That's just light fare, right? Okay, let's get into the God of High School tournament. So we are now starting the national tournament, which if you missed the last time I talked about this show, they modified the tournament. They decided to modify the tournament so that they'd be team-based, so more people could go because they're looking for like the next evolution in humanity. So there's a new announcer because, spoiler alert, a dude killed the old announcer, which is very fucked up because he was going after one of the people involved, and instead killed the one of the announcers. So that's fucked up. And it looked like okay. So all right, let me pull back here for a second. Things are happening here. Two different big things are happening throughout. One is the tournament, and two is um, there feels like a training arc is missing. Well, it's so dirty to me. It's that um, I think that's the point. Is that there wasn't a training arc and there should have been one. And that's kind of interesting. So two things are happening. One is there's a national tournament. It started with team battles, and the other one is uh, that there's behind the scenes conflict between the organizers and this cult, who all I think want the same thing, but seem to want it for different reasons and maybe have a different philosophy about it. Uh, but yeah, I mean, really, what it's coming down to, and because it's even said in there, they should, if they'd been paired against other people, they would have lost because they don't have these secret techniques. They don't have the techniques that other people can use. Um, they have not unlocked their ability. So it's kind of the point that there's a training arc missing. Uh, they should have had a training arc. They are in over their heads, is basically what's going on, which I kind of like. So anyway, I'm just going to go through one part and I'll go through the other. So in the fight, it is they're against North Chongchang. And their team is they looked like two of them looked like kind of like dummies, and they had like just goofballs. Like maybe they were strong, but they're definitely goofy. And then one of them is like a strong sword fighting type. And that was their MO. That was what they were doing. So that apparently is accurate. That's their vibe. Did I put this together wrong? I may have put this together wrong. I did. I put this together wrong. Hold on, everybody. I put this arm together wrong. So I gotta fix my mistakes. It's very funny. It's gonna be 3 bouts, and it should have only been 2 bouts. But Jin, the main guy, he's learning pressure points, and he fucked up, and so he gets beat pretty easily because he, instead of unlocking his potential via pressure points, he basically locks himself up and can't move. If he had just used his taekwondo, the martial arts he already knows, his renewal taekwondo, he would not have had a problem. But because he didn't do that, he lost, which is pretty funny. And then we get some backstory about these. Hey, one of these guys is 38 years old. Yeah, it seems people who followed the webtoon aren't really liking the adaptation. When did he learn acupuncture? So he learned acupuncture in the time between the last episode and this episode because the ostensibly the old man that relieved his foot strain and said that he was going to train the grandson of this guy he knows. He did that, but I don't think he trained him for long because he's not good at it. Yeah, I mean, like I can't tell you about the webtoon. I can only tell you this. I will say that I'm liking it. I like the back and forth. Maybe they're cutting a lot out of every episode, and it's a fucking bummer. But I haven't. I can't tell you that one way or the other. I'm digging it. Didn't do this right, so okay. Hawaii fights the second bout. We learned some backstory about this 38-year-old man who, I guess this is more like he was gonna graduate from college. We were talking about the god of high school, and it feels more like this is the god of college because he's a 30-year-old man, 8-year-old man that's like, yeah, it's never too late to go to school. But he wants to help other people be able to go to school, so he's got a good little dream. It's a good little dream. Could have done it in a montage. Yeah, you're right. You're not wrong. They did it instead by having that scene in the last episode and this episode having the guy say like, "Ah, my new student, like my method is the way of the future. Forget Taekwondo." They didn't show it; they just mentioned it, and obviously, show don't tell. But yeah, they just didn't show that part. You have to just imply that he learned it, which is obvious that he didn't learn it well. So it's not like he really trained in it because he fucked up very quickly. Anyway, I want to move on to talking about yeah. So it was a little tough for him, but not Hawaii. Dawei beats him, and then Mira fights another sword woman who basically knows she's gonna lose, and she does lose, and they win, and they're basically like, they probably won't get lucky again. And then we see they definitely won't. So a guy from the last episode that seemed like he was going to be pretty tough. He was like the son of a corporate, heavy hitter, and he looked like he was going to be a big deal. But it looks like that he just got completely destroyed by this guy with blue hair that just completely wrecked him. And that is basically mostly. It is mostly what the rest of this tournament is going to be is there was no training arc. There should have been a training arc because they are not ready for this. They are not ready for this fight, probably. They're probably like not strong enough to take these folks on, and I think they're going to learn that pretty quickly. And then, yeah, so there was a big fight there at the end, and it's just like, even with like some interference, it just definitely looked like it was not going to go that way. So that's been happening, and it was interspersed with this big fight where it looked like Q, one of the commissioners, because the commissioners all have letters associated with their names instead of their names. Letters instead of names. That's what I should say with that. So it looked like Q was killed by the guy that killed the announcer, but nope. Then he took off his limiter and basically kicks this dude's ass. And then the two other people from Nox, who are the evil cult, show up. And let's see. What happens with them? Oh, yeah. One of them, and the other commissioner shows up. One of them can like control arms through portals and has like a big gun in the shape of a cross, which is kind of fun. And then O shows up, who is another commissioner, and O has a big dragon friend. So O has a dragon familiar apparently, and that is, I will say this, that was pretty cool. It was pretty neat, and they have a big fight, and then the people retreat. Except for the original guy who got beat up pretty easily, who blows himself up and looks like he's taking them out. But of course he didn't, because he was weaker and shouldn't have been there. So he just blew himself up anyway. And they're wondering if there is a mole in the organization that is supplying people, because they should not have been able to know where Q lived or Q was staying. But who knows? Who knows? Also, maybe the grandfather of Jin's grandfather's arm was found. So maybe he didn't make it out of that fight when they were trying to recruit him. And that sucks. So hopefully, because we barely got to know that character, so hopefully he's okay. But I don't think he is. But yeah, overall, I thought it was a cool episode. I thought the fights were good. Mouth of a Sailor, yes. One of the girl that has the nonsensical, kind of interesting, like giant cross gun also swears all the time. And the thing that is fun is she swears and it is bleeped and in the dialogue. And then it is also bleeped in the subtitles. Ooh, I apologize for that. They also bleeped the subtitles, which I thought was pretty funny. That they were just like, oh, no, we can't include that in this. we can't say what she was saying, so they just bleeped it. I assume they maybe didn't even record dialogue there. They just bleeped that dialogue. But I thought that was pretty funny. But yeah, pretty good episode. Yeah, I like. I enjoy God of High School. I think I like it better than um, Tower of God from last season. Um, and I think I'm interested in Noblesse next season, which is also another, which was like the first webtoon to like really, not the first webtoon to really branch out, but one that people were really excited about and took a long time to come out. Because I think the first one that came out is Silver Guardian. It blurred her flipping the bird. Yes. I think Silver Guardian, it was the first webtoon to become a. Anyway, good night. Harold, have a good one. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it as always, my friend. You have a good one. Okay, so let's get into the OVAs. It's time to talk about the two OVAs that came out at the same time for My Hero Academia. These are available. Now, I talked about these on Crunchyroll. I watched them on Crunchyroll because I prefer the Crunchyroll player. They're also available on Funimation, subtitled right now. So if you want to watch them, you can. This was a two-part OVA that took place before the provisional. They got their provisional licenses. This is when they were still training. So you see them with some of their abilities, but it's not like this is before Overhaul, basically. So yeah, it was I will say a pretty solid episode. I just want to look ahead here. Sorry. Two episodes that kind of flowed right one another. The best part of these two OVAs is, so the idea is it's training, so they split the class in half. So they're only focusing on half of the class, which means Mineta is not in either of these. There is no Mineta at all. There's no Mineta. It is the fucking best. There's zero Mineta in this episode, in these episodes. It also means that like there's a couple characters I like who don't end up doing anything in this, but it's really this one features all of the good ones. Maybe it doesn't feature your favorite minor character in, or supporting, because maybe you really like the martial arts tail guy, or you like Sugar Rush. You got a soft spot for some of those characters. But basically, they split in half. They're going to do some training for rescue training. They got to find a dummy that's hidden in this underground mall, like fake mall that they built up. So they got to go in there and find this dummy that represents a person. And so they're going to be tested on how they do. Bakugo doesn't want to go with the group because they're talking about ways like how they're going to go. Bakugo goes on his own, but then he's followed by Kaminari, the red fighting guy, and Kirishima, the electric dude, decides to go with him. And that's good because they'll maybe be able to like, oh, hey, they'll look out for him and kind of help go along with the plan. So that's probably going to be for the best. So that's the plan. And then everyone kind of splits up, and and then the emergency lights go out. And everyone that has been split up seems to do okay. There's a really nice moment where Tokiyami and Todoroki are paired together, and I don't know if we've seen them together a lot. We've seen them sometimes, but they have like this little moment of like mutual respect, and one of them is a loner because he's just been isolated from other people for the longest time because his dad was training him, and the other one, he's a bird man with a power he can't control at night that well. So they have a nice little mutual respect moment, which I liked because I like Team Double T. Anyway, let's see. So they all got separated because there's some sort of they thought it was an earthquake, but it's really just like things crumbling, and this does not seem to be part of the rescue operation. But the rescue operation isn't canceled. Uh, so they've got to figure out what's going on and maybe help each other out. We find out that uh, Ida, is hurt. He got hurt saving Momo. Um, so Team Deku, which is Suchan and Gravity Girl and Deku, because of course it's them. But they're gonna focus on rescuing their friend who was injured, and so they go into a rescue operation, which works out pretty dang good because they're smart and they get it. Meanwhile, Team Bakugo is they're going to still get the dummy, um, which of course is on the bottom floor because of course it's on the bottom floor. So they're going to keep going and doing that because what? Does the rescue stop just because something unusual happens? No, you power through it. That's what All Might would do. So they're going to do, at the very least, what All Might would do, which is probably accurate. All Might wouldn't give up just because the training simulation went wrong. Anyway, so Bakugo figures out how to get the restart the emergency power with his quirk, and then there's another thing where a couple things happen. It's not that big a deal, but anyway, they get the power back on. But also, oh no, the reason these rumblings happen is because this place is gonna flood from outside this mall area, which was probably not planned. Let's see. So Deku's squad are gonna go and get Ida through the elevator shaft using their abilities to create things and the gravity power. So they're perfect for this rescue squad. So they're going to do that, and then Deku is going to go try to find other people, and then they run into the teachers, and then Bakugo's squad finds the dummy, and then they start noticing how bad the flooding is. And Eraserhead says this isn't necessarily part of the training, but it's part of real life. You have to roll with these things. If we saved you now, what good would you be, or whatever. So he's going to keep an eye on it. He says he's a contingency plan. We never find out what that contingency plan was going to be, so we don't know if he was bluffing or not. But let's see. Okay. Then there's some more help going on. They use the rope. Deku tells them how to get out. Bakugo is gonna try, and Todoroki are gonna try to stop the water from rising so people can escape. And then they don't. They kind of have an idea how they're gonna get out. But then Deku comes and shows up because of course he did, and because he figured out what Kachan or Bakugo was going to do. He knew what Bakugo was going to do because he knows Bakugo so well that he could predict the thought that Bakugo was going to have, and he modifies it, and they mostly get out. But Bakugo's leg is injured, and he won't accept help from Deku, and they're like, look, let us help you. You can't walk out of here on your own. Just accept my help, damn it. And he's like, no, I don't want your help. I don't want your help. And he's like, be my cane so I can use a cane to get out of here on my own. Is his basically like, well, you're going to help me, but I'm going to pretend you're a cane, which is, I think, is just nonsense in a way that I appreciate. There's also an ongoing thing through the whole 2 episodes where people keep calling Sue her full name, and she's like, no, call me Sue-chan, call me Sue. That people have to, they start to say her name and have to correct themselves because she likes that, she wants people to call her that name, which I think is awesome because she's great. Again, so one thing I thought was awesome was when the event started happening, I was like, oh, is this a villain attack? Are we going to see like a villain that hadn't gotten caught yet, or they're going to invent a new villain and we're going to have to spend time on this new villain? No, there was no villain. They didn't bother inventing a new villain for them to have to face. It was just that something went wrong in the training and they had to deal with it, which I think is way better. Again, also it had the season, even though it takes place kind of before season 4, it had the season 4 second half opening and closing themes, and especially the closing theme is particularly awesome. Shout Baby, the ending theme, the second half ending theme, is a fantastic song. I tweeted about it, and you can go see. If you go to my Twitter, you can find that where I tweeted out a link to the acoustic version for First Take. That is fucking incredible. And that's it. That's the anime talk. Lots of anime talk for this one, as I had some OVAs to watch. But I was just so happy to have. I was just so happy to have something to talk about, because it's been a hot minute since I had some anime to chat with you all about, like a lot of anime. So I was happy with that. It was a good episode of that. Yeah, it was like I said, I like the OVAs. I love it when OVAs are licensed and out, and you can just watch them, and you don't have to try to find them on the internet. That is so nice. That is not always the case, obviously, but especially like having that time I got reincarnated as a slime, having the OADs, because those aren't even like OVAs that are separate. Those are packaged in, like, sometimes they're on a Blu-ray, but those are like little Blu-rays that come with or download codes that come with manga. So those are like even less likely to appear on the internet legally. So it is such a nice thing when that happens, as somebody that wants to support stuff and doesn't want to go digging through things, but also like wants to watch them. Like, I had to like go out of my way to get that bonus room camp episode that was more like a laid back camp episode. Like, I had to go out of my way to watch that. And am I missing anything by watching it? Like, if I'd never watched it, would I have missed anything? Not really, but I still wanted to see it because I like that show a lot. Yeah, sometimes it seems like it really depends on the show if they end up getting them or not. Because, like, we got the extra episodes for a few things out there, but we haven't gotten everything out there. And that always seems a little odd. Sorry. There we go. I realized I didn't put this this on right. Now I am correcting my mistakes. All right. There we go. Yeah, so that was basically it. I'm excited. Thursday will be our next build stream after tonight. We're going to go for a little while longer, so don't you worry about it. But the next build stream will be on Thursday. But this Wednesday, I'm going back to Twitch Sings. It's been a hot minute since I did a singing stream. So I'm going to go back into Twitch Sings, do another one of those, do some duets with myself, pick up a few songs. Hopefully there'll be some new stuff. There's usually always at least a couple new songs. And even if there aren't new ones, because there usually are, there'll probably be a few songs that I haven't done in a while, so I can always do that. But we'll do the thing where people can vote on the next song I sing for my favorites, and I'll do that. And yeah, I think it's just like a fun time. I haven't been back to it. And then I'll put a poll up sometime for my patrons, because my $3, $5, and $10 patrons can vote on once a month about what I do in that, and that'll be for next week. One of my options is going to be playing a. I think I'm going to look into trying to figure out how to use infinite fusions, which is a like mod for Pokemon that fuses all the characters together. I gotta look that up. I just saw that the other day. It won't be a Nuzlocke run because I don't want to ever do a Nuzlocke run again. It'll mostly be like, let's check this thing out. So that's like a possibility. I don't know for sure if that's what I'm gonna do, but it's like a possibility. But like that I'll put up. I do want to think of like one that isn't a video game. I don't know if that's gonna be another night of like commentary or like talking about wrestling or something, but it'll be another like me showing clips and talking about it. I think might be another possibility. All right, we're gonna work on the feet because we finished the upper part of the body here. Uh, let's see. All right, so yeah, we'll work on the feet portion right now. But yeah, so that's the bonus stream this week is me going to Twitch Sings, and then next week will be something. I just don't know what, but it'll be Streamer's Choice or Patreon's Choice. And that should be fun. Hopefully you'll all check that out. But yeah, if there's anything y'all have a burning desire to talk about in the last few minutes of the stream, feel free to let me know. And then we can chat about it. I don't have anything particularly that I'm like desperate to talk about, but as always, I'm always interested in what's going on with y'all. If y'all got anything going on next couple of days that you're into, if you've seen it, yeah, recommend me a GDQ stream. If you've been paying attention to the summer Games Done Quick thing, and you're like, oh, well, you know, on this date, this thing's going to happen. Like, yeah, feel free to let me know about that because I'm always interested in those. I'll do my own investigations, but if there's something you saw there that you're like, Pat, did you know that this is happening? I didn't, so, you know, let me know. And of course, in a few minutes, when the stream is wrapping up, we will go and raid somebody. Even if there aren't that many of us, it's okay. We'll still go and raid somebody because that's how we end streams here. Is we pass along the love. Maybe it's a video game. Maybe, you know, like, hey, we watched Kate play Fortnite on Saturday. Somebody who hadn't played a lot of Fortnite. They were just kind of goofing around in it and having fun. And I was like, oh, I'm glad we watched that. That was fun. I hung out in the stream for quite a while. Some nights when I raid, I don't stick around because I've got other stuff going on. And some nights I am very interested in whatever is happening and hang out. And that was one of those nights where I was just like, I want to see what's going on here. All right, so work on the feet here. Just working on our feet. But yeah, if you got anything pressing you want to talk about, feel free to let me know. Otherwise, I'll just think if there's anything else going on with me. I don't think so. Leading into the end of, or the beginning of this week, because it is the beginning of the week. Yeah. I don't really have anything that I'm like up to, which is a shame. I tell you this. I mentioned it. I kind of teased it on Saturday, but now I can fully tell you. Hey, I'm gonna be on the Loading Ready Run Twitch channel on Sunday. I tweeted about it, but Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern till 6 p.m. Eastern, I will be hanging out with Kathleen on Kathleen's Island Tour. It's an Animal Crossing stream. I'll be doing commentary. I don't play Animal Crossing, but I love it. And lately, they've just been going to community members, folks on their Discords, islands and checking out those islands. And the people that, you know, they go to visit are watching along and kind of giving a little commentary in the chat. And there are other people talking about it. And sometimes we go to guest islands and see that. Lately, we've also been going to Dream Islands because it's a thing where you can visit an island, somebody, and like people put things out, and they're doing. Some people are doing really creative, odd things. This past Sunday, they went and visited a player's thing that was a desert level called New Barktown, which is a deserty town in Pokemon, which was a fun little reference. But it was just, yeah, it was like all desert themed and very fucking cool. Yeah, and I thought that was pretty dang neat. Um, and the last one was spooky. But yeah, it's a fun. It's one of my favorite streams of the week, and I'm really happy to be invited to be on it again because I've done it once before. I love all the Loading Ready Run folks. Have I met all of them? No, but they're all great people, and they have just a fantastic community. Kate Stark. Brother Graham founded Loading Ready Run. Kate kind of came to some prominence from being associated with it, doing some video stuff for them, helping out with Desert Bus for Hope, their charity. So there's a lot of cross between those communities. But Loading Ready Run generally is done by the time we're done streaming. They usually go a little past 11, so we never raid them because raiding them, they wouldn't have much time left. I think I've raided them like on a Wednesday before if they're going to 11. But usually they go to like 11:15, 11:05 to 11:10 or whatever. But they're just ending up with they just end the stream with thanking subs and stuff. So that's not the same. It's not, it doesn't make sense for us to go and visit them. So we never really go check them out. But they're fantastic and full of just really nice folks. Particularly if you're into Magic the Gathering, because they make funny comedy stuff about Magic the Gathering and also play a lot of Magic on their streams. So that's fun. I still think they're very funny, even if I have limited knowledge of that, of Magic. I don't really watch a lot of their Magic content because it's not a thing that I have any real knowledge of. But they're very cool people, so we will probably go. So I'm very excited about doing that. If you love Animal Crossing, it's going to be a great stream. If you just if you just enjoy chill, fun times with cool people, it's going to be a very good stream on Sunday. Sunday, 3 p.m. Eastern to 6 p.m. Eastern. There'll be a VOD if you can't make it, and it will be and when the YouTube archive goes up, I'll also make sure to tweet that out. But I'm excited, and hopefully a few folks will want to come hang out here that will see me on that because I think they would really like it. I know that some folks know what's up, but hopefully a few people want to check out what I do. It's tough because they just stream all the dang time, and we do have contradictory feeds sometimes, that just happens. All right, so we're gonna wrap up this leg here. We'll keep working on it on Thursday. So we might wrap up this kit. It might go until Saturday, but we did get a lot of it done, which is great. So I'll take a photo of this after the stream is done. Thanks so much for watching. We are going to go ahead and raid. As I said, I'm going to go see who I like that is on that we can go and visit. And yeah, they're probably not going to go along there. Okay, that's good. Ooh, I like that. All right. We are going to go give a raid to Mary Kish because Mary Kish is playing Fall Guys. Mary is just the nicest, just a wonderful streamer, and a great person, and is apparently playing Fall Guys, and I want to go check that out. Knight, thanks for streaming. Well, thank you very much. So yeah, we're gonna go give Mary a raid. Feel free to come along. If you don't feel like coming along, that's okay. I hope that you have a great night. And thanks so much for joining me. Feel free to come along on this. If not, I hope to see you on Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern for Twitch Sings. On Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern for continuing the arc. If the Lego set that is coming in the mail for me arrives, that'll be the next thing. If not, I will do a poll from my backlog this week, probably on Wednesday. So thanks so much for watching. I hope you have a great night. Feel free to come along on this raid. And take it easy. Goodbye. 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 Goodbye.